While President Trump says he's ironed out the trade framework with the European Union. They've agreed on a 15% tariff on most European imports. So what does that mean for the stuff you buy from the EU? Stuff like pharmaceutical products, cars, and maybe even wine and liquor. For more on this, joining me now is Scripps News legal affairs correspondent Abijoy Burnett. And Abijoy, what do we know about the framework of this deal and, more importantly, how it could impact consumers?
Hey there, Andrew. Well, this trade framework is just that right now. It is a framework between the United States and the European Union. We don't have a lot of details that are set in stone that we have seen just yet, but there is some information. And experts are saying, just like any other tariff, it is likely that the consumer will be shouldering some of that cost. The U.S. and the European Union announcing a new trade agreement framework over the weekend.
It's the biggest of all the deals.
It sets a 15% tariff on most goods imported from the EU, as opposed to a previously proposed 30% rate. The U.S. imported $605 billion worth of goods from the 27-country bloc last year. Complete details of the agreement have not been made available, but it could have a major impact on the price of goods like European-made cars and pharmaceuticals, which may be passed on to consumers, says Professor Timothy Helwig.
I think consumers in the United States suffer from this trade deal.
Some products will be exempt from any tariffs, including aircraft parts, certain chemicals and generic drugs, and some agricultural products. Many businesses are still waiting to learn if the deal will impact them, including the alcohol industry.
We are greatly hopeful that 15% tariff is not applied to distilled spirits.
Chris Swanger is the CEO of the Distilled Spirits Council of the U.S. and says any tariff would drive prices up.
Any tax on distilled spirits products or a tariff on distilled spirits products are going to impede on that consumer being able to afford that special bottle of scotch or cognac.
And U.S. businesses, they would prefer no tariffs at all. But keep in mind, everyone, that this upcoming Friday, tariffs between the United States and the EU, they were set to kick up to 30%. So with this 15% rate, that is much better than a potential 30% that we're expecting to see, according to economists, clearly based on the raw numbers there, Andrew.
All right, so 15 better than 30, got that. But where were things before Trump started his tariff and trade wars? Where were things before Trump came into office for a second term?
That's an excellent question. Just 6 months ago, the tariff rate between the United States and the EU, it was much lower than the 15% that is proposed at this moment. Before President Trump got back into office, it was right around 2%, even under the 2% mark. Now we are anticipating this 15% tariff between the EU and the United States, Andrew.
All right, Scripps News legal affairs correspondent Abijoy Burnett for us. Abijoy, thank you.